Hey YouTube, Mike here. I just wanted to talk today about binding and moobaphobia. Yeah, moobaphobia. It's spelled Moobaphobia. So moobaphobia. I think most trans men do have some form of moobaphobia. Um, Everybody has different levels, and you may be asking, what is moobaphobia? Well, it's not that I see a moob like on the beach or something and I get freaked out and run the other way. That's not what moobaphobia is. I mean, technically, the fear of moob would be what moobaphobia is, but no, that's not what I mean by moobaphobia. From the Mikester's dictionary, moobaphobia would be when a trans guy has a severe dread of his own chest. And I say guy because it's moobaphobia. There's also chest dysphoria, and it's very similar to that. But chest dysphoria can be biological males, biological females. I mean, anybody can have chest dysphoria. It's something that you don't feel comfortable about the way that your chest is being represented on your body. But moobaphobia and chest dysphoria, it's a cause of anxiety, discomfort, insecurities, low self-esteem, depression, and everybody varies. I mean, some people become, they become okay with it. Not okay in the sense like, oh, I mean, even that, maybe maybe I'm gonna keep it. But a lot of guys that I know who have not especially, because based on the level that you're at. I mean, it's your own thing. So somebody with a size A could have just as bad as moobaphobia as somebody with a size D. I mean, it's all your own mentality. Nobody can tell you that yours is lacking. I mean, because I have a D, I don't have a D, but I'm saying metaphorically, because I have a D, I'm so much worse off. Well, no, I mean, yeah, it's harder to hide, but everybody has their own vulnerabilities with this, We're all working together to try and help each other out and try and get there. So moobaphobia. Yeah, but like I was saying, bio and bio men and women can also have this chest dysphoria. I actually was reading online a bit, and this girl was describing how she would see little boys without shirts, and they were so free, but why couldn't that be her? She was describing how men with large moves could be around naked, but she with smaller breasts than these men have, she couldn't be. So it's an interesting perspective, because a lot of trans guys, they think, well, I'm not speaking for everybody, but it's like it's a chest discomfort for trans guys, because it's something that makes them insecure, and they're wondering if they're passing all the time, but it's definitely vulnerability for biological males and females as well. So that's something to keep in mind. But the other topic that I was going to say, and moobaphobia leads to this, is binding. So for people with this chest dysphoria, moobaphobia, whatever you want to call it, there's a term called binding, and binding makes a lot of trans guys happy. So I want to start off with when I first started binding. I first started binding at the age of, when I got 2 large obnoxious tumors on my chest, and I wanted to hide them. So basically, I started off with sports bras. So I, I mean, I'm sure a lot of guys did that, but so I started off with one sports bra, which is kind of similar to a tank binder. It came down and partially into my midsection, and soon I didn't feel comfortable with just that, so I added one, or another one, and then I added another one on top of that. So at my worst discomfort in sports bras, I was wearing three. I tried the Ace bandages, but mine were too big, and that's why I stayed with the sports bras. And I always got them tighter, like couple sizes too small, which, looking back, it's hard to believe that I fit in some of those. But I got them smaller so that, it would compress more. And I think, being a bigger dude, the wearing the three helped keep all of my move fat in. But yeah, so I started off with sports bras. Stayed using those until, oh gosh, I was maybe 21 or so, maybe, I don't know, hold on. Well, anyway, so I didn't know about binders until I started speaking to a counselor about how I felt. I didn't even know I was transgender at this point because I didn't know there was a term. So I didn't know that they made this special device for holding your moves until my counselor said, have you heard of the word transgender? And I was like, no. But she described it to me, and I was like, holy crap, like it was an awe moment, like, whoa. Oh, no, not like that. That looked like I was scared. This is more of what it was. And after that, I started looking more into it, and yeah, so I found out, about binders, and I realized that there's a complete world out there devoted to making those with Moobaphobia feel a little more at ease in the world. So it was nice to know that it already existed, even though I had never heard of the term. It's nice to know that there's something out there for that, because my entire, growing up, my process, I always wanted. I was like, why don't they make something to keep these in? I can't be the only one who doesn't want these. And it's just interesting that all along they had them. Maybe not when I was 11, but it's crazy that I thought I was the only one for a bit, but no, tons of us out there. So then I went on to actual binders in the fall of 2009, so about 2.5 years ago. And I can't believe to this day that I passed in sports bras, because it's amazing how much more the binders hold in your stuff. It's compression. Sports bras are designed to just keep them in place, where these are like, you're not going anywhere, sort of thing. So there are different types of binders, and I have a bunch here to show you guys. So hopefully this will help out. It's a little bit of a review too. I do not work for Underworks by any means, so I want to put out a disclaimer. Underworks, I've only bought your products, and I just want to share my knowledge and what I've learned from them with